By nature, Bermuda grass is a spreading type turf grass. There's common type Bermudas and Bermudas that are grown from seed. It can be very aggressive, very invasive. In a tall fescue yard, it can just be flat out nasty. It grows up the side of the house. It can grow up into your mulch beds. It's a very difficult grass to control. It's always hard to control a grass within a grass, but there are ways to do so. We call these renovations. One is a partial renovation, the other is a full renovation. Full renovations are where we kill off the entire area of yard and start over from scratch. If you have a good thick stand of fescue, we can use Pilex to control the Bermuda with several applications. This is only done when the Bermuda is mingled in with the fescue. A partial renovation is done when you have large, condensed, solid areas of Bermuda grass that you want to get rid of so that the fescue becomes the dominant grass. We have no idea why this happens, but we see it all the time. There will be a clear, definitive line between the fescue and the Bermuda. In this case, we use Roundup. If you can see here on the left side of the driveway, the dead brown area was Bermuda at one time. Right in front of the top of the driveway and just at the bottom of the kidney-shaped bed. And what we do in a partial renovation is we come in and we round up the areas of Bermuda to kill them off. We typically do 3 Roundup applications on Bermuda. In between the Roundup applications, we ask the homeowner to take the Bermuda down a little bit each time, because Bermuda grows in layers, so that we want to be sure to get all of the Bermuda. So we spray, it turns brown, you mow shorter, we spray again, it turns brown, you mow shorter, and we spray it the last time. And at that point in time, we like to have the Bermuda grass almost skint to the ground. There will be runners right on top of the surface, and if we don't get them with the Roundup, they're surely to come back. Once the Bermuda is good and dead, that's when we come in with our equipment, which is typically an aerator. These are vibrating hydraulic machines with solid core tines that are aggressive on the ground and break the ground up in a serious kind of way. We typically put down half of the grass seed first, do the aeration process, as you see here. Once we've gone over the entire lawn area with the aerators and we're happy that the ground has been worked in a sufficient way, then we go back and put the other half of the grass seed down on top. What this does is the first layer of seed gets mixed into the soil with the aerator. Then the second half of the seed goes on top. We have found this to be an extremely effective way of seeding, especially when any type of renovation work is done. Now, this isn't for everyone. Some people can deal with the Bermuda. We have many clients who have Bermuda mixed in their yard, and it does not bother them one bit, and we're okay with that, as long as a client is okay with it. But if you decide to go this route and want a renovation done by us, there are some things you need to know. This is a long, hard process. It takes a considerable amount of work on your part. And what we mean by that is the watering afterwards. We can do all this renovation work, all the work in the world, all the soil prep in the world, but if the grass seed does not get the proper amount of water and the consistency in watering, then your result will be less than desired. It really takes a lot of water to get grass seed to germinate. Now, of course, we depend a lot on the weather. If you have an irrigation system, this helps out in a serious kind of way. We will help you set your water to water the grass seed properly, and in a short time, you'll have brand new fescue coming up. It really doesn't take all that long as the correct watering is present. This particular yard is a non-irrigated yard, and I have to say hats off to this particular client because they watered extremely diligently after we left for a couple of months straight, and they got a pretty good result. The yard came in pretty nice, pretty full. We actually had to go back and touch up a handful of spots, which that could be expected. We don't expect a perfect service the first time, but our service is guaranteed. So if there are areas in the yard that really don't come in or they're struggling a little bit, we do come back at no charge and we repair those areas, re-aerate those areas, put more grass seed down, do whatever we have to do to get that seed to come up. This partial renovation was done September of 2016. This happened to be one of the driest, hottest summers we've had since 1903. So that causes quite a bit more work on the homeowner's part. You have to be diligent with the watering. We don't control the weather. We have no control over it. So when times get tough, you just have to dig in and keep at it. And know that cooler weather and rainfall is on the way. The fall of 2016 was also an unusually dry time for us here in North Carolina. But as I said earlier, this particular client was extremely diligent, very persistent in watering, and he got out there and drug the water hose around day after day after day, and the end result really paid off well for him. This particular yard is on our 7-step fertilization and weed control program. So throughout the winter of 2016, it did get the right amount of nitrogen, the right amount of nutrients it needed so that it was ready for springtime. This is 8 months after the partial renovation. As you can see, the fescues come in a pretty good way. It's very nice and thick and dense, about 98% coverage. There's still a few areas around the base of some of those big oak trees that just did not want to act right, and that's a whole different ball game, trying to get grass to grow around the bottom of trees. But you can see we got a pretty good result here. I'm pleased with it. The client was exceptionally pleased with it. And if you have any thoughts of getting rid of your Bermuda grass in your fescue, we do have ways to do this. There's a process to it, and hopefully this video has kind of given you a good idea of how we go about doing it, what the process is, and what the results are. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's been educational for you. If you have any other questions about a partial or full renovation, feel free to go to our website at www.gciturfservices.com. Simply go to the top of the page and click the Contact Us button and shoot us an email, and we will be glad to get with you, give you pricing and options. Thank you.